Can you pass the test?
You've just passed your first practical driving or riding test. What will you have to do if you get 6 penalty points on your license in the next 2 years? Retake only your theory test. Retake your theory and practical tests. Retake only your practical test. Reapply for your full license immediately. What circumstances require you to notify the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, DVLA? When your health affects your driving. When you have to work abroad. When you lend your vehicle to someone. When your vehicle needs an MO certificate. What can seriously reduce your ability to concentrate? Drugs. Busy roads. Tinted windows. Weather conditions. How can drinking alcohol affect your ability to drive or ride? Your ability to judge speed will be reduced. Your confidence will be reduced. Your reactions will be faster. Your awareness of danger will be improved. You arrive at the scene of an incident. You see a casualty who's not moving. What should you do first? Check if it's safe to approach the casualty. Begin cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR. Start looking for a defibrillator, AED. Move the casualty into the recovery position. You're performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, on a casualty. Someone stops to help. What should you get them to do? Fetch a blanket. Fetch a first aid kit. Fetch a defibrillator. Fetch a privacy screen. You're on a motorway. When can you use hazard warning lights? When a vehicle is following too closely. When you slow down quickly because of danger ahead. When you're being towed by another vehicle. When you're using the hard shoulder as a running lane. You're towing a trailer along a 3-lane motorway. When may you use the right-hand lane? When there are lane closures. When there's slow-moving traffic. When you can maintain a high speed. When large vehicles are in the left and center lanes. Your vehicle has broken down on a motorway. What should you do if you're not able to get onto the hard shoulder? Switch on your hazard warning lights. Stop the traffic behind and ask for help. Attempt to repair your vehicle quickly. Stand behind your vehicle to warn others. When should you use the left-hand lane of a motorway? When your vehicle breaks down. When you're overtaking slower traffic in the other lanes. When you're making a phone call. When the road ahead is clear. What should you do if you're driving on a motorway and you miss the exit that you wanted to take? Carefully reverse along the hard shoulder. Carry on to the next exit. Carefully reverse in the left-hand lane. Make a U-turn at the next gap in the central reservation. Your vehicle has broken down on a motorway. In which direction should you walk to find the nearest emergency telephone? With the traffic flow. Facing oncoming traffic. In the direction shown on the marker posts. In the direction of the nearest exit. What color are the reflective studs between the hard shoulder and the left-hand lane of a motorway? Green. Red. White. Amber. When would you use the right-hand lane on a 3-lane motorway? When you're turning right. When you're overtaking. When you're traveling above the speed limit. When you're trying to save fuel. What should you do if you want to overtake a long, slow-moving vehicle on a busy road? Follow it closely and keep moving out to see the road ahead. Flash your headlights for the oncoming traffic to give way. Stay behind until the driver waves you past. Keep well back so that you get a good view of the road ahead. You're waiting to turn right out of a minor road. It's clear to the left but a lorry is coming from the right. Why should you wait, even if you have enough time to turn? Anything overtaking the lorry will be hidden from view. The lorry could suddenly speed up. The lorry might be slowing down. The load on the lorry might be unstable. You're traveling behind a bus. What should you do if it pulls up at a bus stop? Accelerate past the bus. Look for pedestrians. Sound your horn. Pull in closely behind the bus. What must you do when you see this sign? Stop only if traffic is approaching. Stop even if the road is clear. Stop only if children are waiting to cross. Stop only if a red light is showing. How should you give an arm signal to turn left? What does this sign mean? Tourist attraction. Beware of trains. Level crossing. Beware of trams. What does this sign mean? Low bridge ahead. Tunnel ahead. Ancient monument ahead. Traffic danger spot ahead. Which sign means that the national speed limit applies? What does this sign mean? Multi-exit roundabout. Risk of ice. 6 roads converge. Place of historical interest. Who has priority at an unmarked crossroads? The larger vehicle. No one has priority. The faster vehicle. The smaller vehicle. You're reversing into a side road. When would your vehicle be the greatest hazard to passing traffic? After you've completed the maneuver. Just before you begin to maneuver. After you've entered the side road. When the front of your vehicle swings out. You're waiting at a level crossing. What must you do if a train passes but the lights keep flashing? Carry on waiting. Phone the signal operator. Edge over the stop line and look for trains. Park and investigate. Why should you try and park in a secure car park? It makes it easy to find your car. It helps deter thieves. It stops the car being exposed to bad weather. It does not cost anything to park here. What can cause excessive or uneven tire wear? A faulty gearbox. A faulty braking system. A faulty electrical system. A faulty exhaust system. Why do mo tests include an exhaust emission test? To recover the cost of expensive garage equipment. To help protect the environment against pollution. To discover which fuel supplier is used the most. To make sure diesel and petrol engines emit the same fumes. How will your journey be affected by traveling outside the busy times of day? Your journey will use more fuel. Your journey will take longer. Your journey will be more hazardous. Your journey will have fewer delays. What should you do when you're using a contraflow system? Choose an appropriate lane in good time. Switch lanes to make better progress. Increase speed to get through the contraflow more quickly. Follow other motorists closely to avoid long queues. What should you do if you park on the road when it's foggy? Leave parking lights switched on. Leave dipped headlights and fog lights switched on. Leave dipped headlights switched on. Leave main beam headlights switched on. When will you feel the effects of engine braking? When you only use the parking brake. When you're in neutral. When you change to a lower gear. When you change to a higher gear. Why is it dangerous to leave rear fog lights switched on after the fog has cleared? They may be confused with brake lights. The bulbs would fail. Electrical systems could be overloaded. Direction indicators may not work properly. What restrictions apply if you're towing a trailer on a 3-lane motorway? You must not exceed 50 miles per hour. You must not overtake. You must have a stabilizer fitted. You must not use the right-hand lane. You're about to overtake a cyclist. Why should you leave them as much room as you would give to a car? The cyclist might speed up. The cyclist might get off their bicycle. The cyclist might be unsettled if you pass too near them. The cyclist might have to make a left turn. You want to turn right from a junction. What should you do if your view is restricted by parked vehicles? Move out quickly, but be prepared to stop. Sound your horn and pull out if there's no reply. Stop, then move forward slowly until you have a clear view. Stop, get out and look along the main road to check. What action should you take when you see flashing amber lights under a school warning sign? Reduce speed until you're clear of the area. Keep up your speed and sound the horn. Increase your speed to clear the area quickly. Wait at the lights until they stop flashing. You're driving past a line of parked cars. What should you do if a ball bounces out into the road ahead? Continue driving at the same speed and sound your horn. Continue driving at the same speed and flash your headlights. Slow down and be prepared to stop for children. Stop and wave the children across to fetch their ball. You're driving in a slow-moving queue of traffic. What should you do just before changing lane? Sound the horn and flash your lights. Look for motorcyclists filtering through the traffic. Give a slowing down arm signal. Change down to first gear. You're traveling behind a moped. What should you do if you want to turn left a short distance ahead? Overtake the moped before the junction. Pull alongside the moped and stay level until just before the junction. Sound your horn as a warning and pull in front of the moped. Stay behind until the moped has passed the junction. You're turning right from a main road into a side road. There's no oncoming traffic. What should you do if pedestrians are standing on the pavement waiting to cross the side road? Turn in because the pedestrians are safe on the pavement. Wave at the pedestrians, inviting them to cross the road. Wait and give way to the pedestrians. Sound your horn to alert the pedestrians to your presence. What does this sign mean? Minimum speed 30 miles per hour. End of maximum speed. End of minimum speed. Maximum speed 30 miles per hour. What does this sign mean? Two-way traffic crosses a one-way road. Traffic approaching you has priority. Two-way traffic straight ahead. Motorway contraflow system ahead. What must you do when you're overtaking a car at night? Flash your headlights before overtaking. Select a higher gear. Switch your headlights to main beam before overtaking. Make sure you do not dazzle other road users. Your vehicle broke down on the hard shoulder of a motorway, but has now been repaired. How should you rejoin a main carriageway? Move out onto the carriageway, then build up your speed. Move out onto the carriageway using your hazard warning lights. Gain speed on the hard shoulder before moving out onto the carriageway. Wait on the hard shoulder until someone flashes their headlights at you. You're asked to fetch a defibrillator, AED. What's the best way to find the nearest AED? Follow the arrows on marker posts. The 999 operator will direct you. Ask your vehicle's built-in sat-nav. Check the casualty's belongings. As you approach the roundabout, there's a sign showing a single white bar on a green background. What does this sign tell you? There are chevrons on the roundabout. The roundabout is 50 yards ahead. The roundabout is 100 yards ahead. Give way at the roundabout. As you approach the roundabout, you want to change lanes. What routine should you follow? Mirrors, signal, maneuver. Signal, mirrors, maneuver. Maneuver, signal, mirrors. Maneuver, mirrors, signal. You want to travel on the A61. Which lane should you use at the roundabout? Only the left lane. Either the left lane or middle lane. Only the middle lane. Either the middle lane or right lane.
Comment your score.